Oh boy, it's been a while since I posted any kind of Minecraft video. In fact, it's been I think over a year. That's not okay. So I wanted to kind of go over some things that have changed in my creative world that I still need to start finishing digging the hole in the survival world to build all this stuff in. But this is roughly what I'm going to be doing. So first off, the skyscraper here, this isn't the actual design. This is just something that I put in the world just for reference to the other farms and stuff. It's actually going to be a little bit taller than that, and it's going to look a lot different than what it does right now. It's just like I said, just a reference point. So you can kind of see though how this is starting to form and like create a city sort of thing. You have the skyscraper there, and you have different buildings and whatnot. You can see the streets and whatnot. So you can see it starting to really come together as a city. So I built this iron farm here, and this iron farm, it was too much. It really was. It was causing so much ND lag that stuff down below there was hardly functioning at all. So I took out the bottom 3 layers here, but I kept them around just for formatting, so I can, because I like kind of the look of this and like the layers of the different floors and stuff. So I'm gonna kind of base the design of these buildings off of what's there, but the actual farm's only going to be what's up here. And I've modified the design a little bit because I changed all the walls here from normal blocks to using actual walls, and now that prevents the iron golems from getting caught up on the sides there. But yeah, the actual farm is just going to be these 2 things up here at the top. It's pretty efficient, honestly. It's still pretty efficient. It turns off at nighttime to reset the villagers so they can sleep and whatnot. I have the iron farm split up like this because one side filters out and stores all the iron. The other side filters out and stores all of the poppies, but it converts all the poppies into bone meal, which goes into this chest here, and then that chest will then take all of the bone meal over to the bone meal farm to add to that storage over there. The farm is actually pretty efficient though, and you can see their items being filtered out, and now it's going through the composter. And so this filters out the poppies and allows all the iron to then come over here, and then it goes into a chest cart that then goes across here, across this bridge, down, And right here, it is now dumping all of the iron. And then it does just the opposite from here, where all the poppies get filtered out and they go into this cart. And once it gets completely full, then it goes over here across this bridge. So when these buildings are completely built, you know, you'll have the walls of the building here, and then you'll have this divider bridge. So what I did, I'm kind of pleased with it, to be honest. There's all these detector rails, and those light up lamps that you can't really see from the ground very well. You can kind of see them there, but this whole thing, as carts are moving one way or the other, get lit up so you can see that things are going back and forth at nighttime. I think that's a kind of a cool touch. I haven't done a whole lot with actual designing in this world. It's mostly designing redstone stuff. But there's probably better design for iron farms in this, but I don't know. This is what I have always built and just came up with this, where I just have a whole bunch of them layered together, and it seems to spawn about 4 iron golems at a time on each side. It's pretty efficient though, so I'm happy with it. Here, this will go all the way up, but this is just lava farm. Then there'll be a water farm over here that I kind of played around with a little bit of textures. But I'll need water buckets and I'll need water bottles for different things. So I figured, why not have a fire and water right next to each other? So I don't know, I kind of like that. And of course, fire's dark and the water's light. And so I think that'll look kind of cool. And then little courtyard here and a little courtyard here in between the buildings. I don't know, I think that'll look kind of nice. Here is, this farm is just insane. This is not my design. I forget whose design it is. I can find it and plug it into the description. This is a tree farm. So it will actually make wood. It uses the azaleas, and it grows trees, and it's just an infinite wood farm for making charcoal. So I have a super smelter over here that takes all the wood. It takes all the wood logs and puts them up into the super smelter here, smelts everything down, and then makes charcoal. And then the charcoal gets filtered into all of these furnaces, so it's always self-sufficient. And then everything that's extra gets dropped out and put into storage here to come and be picked up by different farms. The thing is, this thing eats, and I mean it eats bone meal. So my original plan was to have bone meal farm over there. We'll go over that here in a bit. But my original plan was to have this bone meal farm over here supplying all the farms that need bone meal to all the other farms. Thing is, this thing goes through so much bone meal, I actually had to have 2 bone meal farms over here just to supply enough bone meal to allow this thing to work and function properly. And this also creates other byproducts that it filters out sticks, because it makes sticks, and sticks don't compost. So everything else does, like the moss carpets and whatnot. And so those get composted and get turned into bone meal. But then, so this kind of helps with the buffer, but if it really needs extra, then I have this cart here that will go down and we'll go over to the bone meal farm to get more bone meal to kind of help out with that little buffer area there. But yeah, so I had to make 2 separate bone meal farms just for this one farm over here. So this whole building here, you can see that this is its own block here. This handles all wood and charcoal. Then back here we got the cobblestone, and these are ridiculously efficient, so I probably don't even need 4 of these. I'm going to work out so that it will be able to change how many of these are active depending on the demand. So it makes all this cobblestone. The cobblestone comes down here. If this system here, it makes stone, so it will smelt down all of the cobblestone to make stone, and then it will smelt down here again to make smooth stone. So this handles all the cobblestone, stone, and smooth stone. And then also, there's probably a better way to do this, is just a quick design of my own. But this is a basalt farm, so this just makes basalt, and it's pretty efficient though as well. I mean, these chests here filled up in no time. So across from all the cobble and basalt stuff, we have this farm here. So this area here is all designated to dyes. So you need flowers to make different dyes. So here we have certain flowers that come from a flower farm. Cocoa beans, which is up there. You have the 2 tall flowers over here that it makes, which I think I'll end up having to make another one of these, I think, with the new update. I think there's a new 2 tall flower that you can do the same thing with, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it yet. Cactus farm up there, which is pretty efficient. I mean, man, does it have it all filled up? Okay. Wow. Almost all filled up. Dang, dude. I think the cactus farm is a little too efficient, to be honest. I have a little wool farm up there. I have a massive wool farm right now in the survival world, but eventually I'm just going to need just a little bit. So it's just going to be a slow process to get that. I don't want these farms to be too efficient, to be honest, because I want it to be kind of a grind to get everything that I need. But the flower farm is over in there. This is where you do the cocoa bean thing. So you can place all your cocoa beans, hit this button here, glass slides over, it bone meals everything, slides up, breaks it all, and then retracts back, collects it all, and then puts it down into the system there. Here's a chute where all the wool falls down from. Here's the cactus farm. Like I said, I think this thing is way too efficient. I have way too much in here. It's filled up all those barrels a little too quick. So come up top here. Here's the wool farm. It's just 1 sheep per collar. And then up here is just a little area where I can grab iron and make more shears if need be. If it's running out of shears, then I can make all the shears and just drop them right here into these hoppers. Here's the flower farm right here. It's just a simple farm. Just moves the grass back and forth, and each time it does that, it places bone meal and grows flowers. All the flowers come down here, sorted out, pumped into the proper barrel. Now over here we have bee farm. Now the bee farm also needs shears, so I figure instead of having 2 of these, just have this automatically feed into the bee farm here. So this also requires bottles, so I'm gonna have to have a area where I make a bunch of bottles, and then it goes and gets bottles from. And then there's a squid farm here, which this squid farm doesn't work. I thought it was easy. I don't know. I gotta look up how to do squid farms. So the bone meal farm, I think this was the first farm that I actually designed for the world once I got all the blocks placed out, right? All the streets and blocks and whatnot. So this one was a bit of a challenge. It took me a while to figure out this because these bone meal farms are really efficient. And so they make a lot of moss blocks and all that other moss stuff. So in order to filter everything out, I ended up having to split everything up into 4 sections. So I have to have 4 filters, 2 on this side for each thing, and 2 more on this side for each thing. And once these filter all the items down and down into here, I'll end up changing this around a little bit to make it look better, but everything goes into here. Once these are both full, then it will come over here and tell this item, okay, hey, you're full, stop sending everything down, and then everything will get collected into these chests and barrels. And once these aren't getting filtered out through here anymore, then it starts creating bone meal for the farm. But until everything is filled up, it's not creating bone meal for itself. And these farms, they need to make bone meal for themselves in order to keep working. So I had to build a separate bone meal farm just to provide bone meal for this bone meal farm to make all the moss stuff. It's kind of crazy. And I may actually end up having to build another one of these just to meet demand for all the bone meal. Here's all the storage. I kind of want to redo this. I'm not too happy with how this storage is, and I don't know. And then all the farms that make bone meal as well, they can come and drop off the bone meal to add to this. All the farms that require bone meal can come into here. There's only 3 that require bone meal. They come in here and grab what they need and head back out. This here is not a farm. This is just something that I kind of designed. This is like this will be like a club, right? Like for where all the high-end people come or whatnot. It's kind of like a bar in a way. But what it is a potion farm, so you can automate potion stuff. And then there's a bunch of redstone back here and how it works and whatnot, and getting all the items to wherever it needs to go get items from. But eventually, so you'll come up here and then there'll be stairs and maybe an elevator, I think, and then that'll bring you up to here. And I'm gonna have like different levels of a restaurant and stuff that'll be up above. So this is like the the fancy hangout place, and then all the way up here I've kind of play around with the design, but a dining area for like the elites or whatever come up here and dine. You can see the skyscraper up above the I don't know what to call this, the glass ceiling, I guess. But I like the idea of having like just a restaurant sort of thing or a hangout place. But yeah, I still wanted to have some sort of functionality, so I put the potion farm up there. And potion farm, whatever lamp you have selected, that's where the potions will go to. It goes in a circular pattern, so it'll go here first. So if you have both of these on, then it will actually drop into here first. So you only want to have one of these on at a time. It's probably a better way to do that, but oh well. But I'm probably going to redo, I don't know. This is just like a general idea. Anyways, so I kind of also got a general idea of the street. So all the carts will be going along here. They know where they're going because they have directions in them. I'll go over that here in a bit. But it's just kind of an idea of how the street level is going to look. Crossing the street, the street lights right here, which they do change from red to green and from green to red. But carts will come down here and they will actually get stopped and then be told to go depending on if the light's red or green. Now, right now I have one timer for each of these. So each intersection has its own timer to turn the lights from red to green. I think to just have less stuff active, I'm going to make one single timer probably over here, and it will go off and send a signal to all of these lights. So it's just one timer controlling all of them throughout the city. But I kind of like just kind of gives you an idea of what the street level will look like and having all the buildings and stuff up around. So this from here, this handles like all of the greenery stuff, all the plant stuff. So you have kelp and you have sugar cane, or this is bamboo, sugar cane over here, and you also have sugar cane over here. Then back on the wall here, you have all the vines, anything that's like the twisting vines or whatever these are called, weeping vines. This one's really fun to watch because it will only, these don't grow on their own, I don't think. So it has to use bone meal to grow them, and they get up to the top and then get collected up and stored into here. So then normal vines, these, they have to be harvested by hand, which kind of sucks, but oh well, is what it is. So you come back around here to the back, you have the lichen. So you click that and it has bone meal, so you can harvest it and it'll just regrow. Here you have glowberries, and up here, this is it. Yeah, I have the these things here, whatever these are called, sweet berries. There we go. So if we go up, we go through the center of all that there. So if we come up here, then we have all the coarse fruits. We have all of these things, whatever these things grow. I always forget the name of them. It's warp roots and warp fungus, and crimson roots and crimson fungus. And over here we have just a simple basic melon farm. And so you got watermelon and pumpkins. There we go. And then we have seagrass here. So cool thing about seagrass is you don't have to have anything there. You just have to have water, and then boom, and now you get fresh. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. So we got seagrass, we got kelp down there, and then up top is where we have, oh, so this right here to harvest coarse fruits is really satisfying. Ready? So I don't have anything in the barrel right now, but you push this button and you have all these arrows come through, and it breaks all these coarse fruit flowers, and then it releases all this water, collects everything, and all collected, and then it actually goes down below here, right there. You can see it all falling down there now. So, and then it should, right here, here we go. It places however many that I need in here. I think it's 14. I think there's 7 on each side. So it sends up however many I need to be able to replenish all this, and then it lets them grow, and then they can harvest them again. Okay, and just get rid of all that and get rid of all that. So if we go all the way up to the top, this takes us up to the roof, and this is where the tree farm and the fungus farm is. So there's crimson fungus and the whatever warped fungus. You can grow those here. You can grow normal mushrooms here as well, and get back more mushrooms to then grow more. I'm gonna have to add one in the middle here because with the new update we now have the cherry trees, so I'll have to build a new platform right here in the middle here. So that handles all the, I'm just calling this the plant farm. Alright, I guess that's it for this video. I just wanted to go over all the farms and whatnot, just kind of some updates. Their next video is going to be about other updates, like with the technical stuff, all the redstone stuff that you see down there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.